Hey, we're going to throw out the Avon Lifeline to our friend Kevin. Say hi, Kevin.
Hey, Joe and OG. It's Kevin here up in Maine. I've got a Vanguard Roth IRA I've been maxing out every year, and for reasons I won't get into right now, I'm married. I'm going to be filing separately for 2021. So my $6,000 contribution last year is effectively an excess contribution because when you're filing separately, they crank down on the income limit to make it pretty much impossible. It's either 0 or 10,000. I can't remember. Anyway, I almost made a withdrawal just to get rid of that 6,000 because I thought that's what you had to do. But after Googling, realized there's an option to remove excess contributions. So I've submitted that form, waiting for confirmation from Vanguard. That money's being transferred to my brokerage account, so not a big deal there. I'll pay taxes on the earnings, and I have two questions. How will those earnings be reported? Is that for 2021 tax year, or is that for 2022? Should I be looking for a certain form with that? Second question, why does the IRS crank down on this Roth option if you're married filing separately? Last thing I'll note is that it's above freezing now, so my free t-shirt, if you've got a triple XL tank top, I'll take it.
Thanks for that, Kevin. And spring in Maine. And I was just in Portland and had a wonderful time just before we started our this 40 city book tour. And holy cow, just beautiful there. I'll take Maine in the winter, OG. I mean, for a week, not for the entire winter, but for like a week.
Okay.
Kevin, I can answer the second part of your question before we turn it over to OG for the really technical stuff. But my understanding is the reason why they crank down, to use your words, your ability to do much when you file separately is because they don't want you to. That was part of a tax simplification act around, I believe, right around the year 2000, maybe just before the year 2000. There was a simplification act which really was trying to drive more people to file jointly. And I do remember that this was part of that legislation, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think that I am, that filing separately really kind of went away for a lot of people, because they were trying to simplify the tax code and also make it so more people filed in a similar way to make it easier on the IRS. I know that part, OG, but now when does he see that income, and are there forms he's looking for? Any idea on that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think also the why on the Roth particularly is it's a loophole, right? If you file separately, let's say you make $500,000, well, obviously you make too much money to contribute to a Roth, and you're like, I'll just file separately. Oh, look, my spouse only makes $0, so they can do a Roth. Ha ha ha. It's like, but you can put money in your Roth and your 401k. So just do that instead, and that'll be good. Two things. Yes, you will get reported income. It's going to be rather insignificant unless you made a whole bunch of money on your $6,000, because it's really just that contribution's growth, right? It's like, so your custodian will go back and say, all right, on the day that you made this contribution, what did this contribution turn into by the time you took it out? And then that gain, they prorate it, and that gain will be reported as 1099 on your 1099 as retirement income distribution for tax year 2022. So next February sometime, you'll get a 1099 from Vanguard that'll say you made $187.19 or whatever the gain was. It'll be ordinary income, so you pay regular income taxes on it, but no penalty. So you don't pay a penalty on that. You don't pay a penalty on the $6,000 coming out either, because you did it prior to your tax filing deadline, which is coming up here. The interesting thing is if you keep that excess in, you say, well, why don't I just keep the excess in? Screw them. What are they going to do to me? What's the worst that can happen?
Oh boy.
You get taxed 6% on that every year until you take it out. And then you get the income taxes.
6% every year.
Yeah. Which I guess could be, you could arbitrage that, I suppose, right? Could you say, well, I'm going to grow it to 8, so screw them. They'll take their 6 and I'm still getting my 2.
You better make sure you get your 8 though. Have you seen all those statistics about how, the market does 8, but you only do 2 because you can't stop messing with it?
Yeah, that's for sure. So very common, actually. Excess removals happen for lots of reasons. Oh, my goodness, I put my Roth in every single month, and I got a good bonus at the end of the year. I didn't know I was going to get a $30,000 bonus, and now what do I do, right? So excess removals all the time. Custodians deal with them every single day of the tax filing season like they are right now. just make sure that it does get done, because I know that there's a lot of client service issues at all of these custodians because of employment and, you know, all that other sort of stuff. Everybody's struggling for people. So just make sure that your form got done. If you got, you know, a copy of the email you sent, or it's in the secure messaging system that you sent it on this date or something, just keep a record of that in case for whatever reason they drag it out. But that's pretty common, and congratulations on being the 7th person in the United States to file separately this year.
Also, Kevin, beware of, I think what they call second winter, right? Or are they up to third winter now in Maine? It's not spring yet. Or do they call it a fool spring, trick spring, something? I don't know.
Who knows?
Yes. StackingBenjamins.com/voicemail. If you've got a question for OG and I, we'd love to help you answer your question. You know what? As Kevin alluded to, we send you some awesome Stacking Benjamins swag if you're brave enough to call.